What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Today is Wednesday. It is September 7th, 2022. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup. I hope you're all doing well out there. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, John, and all the rest of you, whether you're watching live later or listening. Thanks for coming by. So it's Wednesday. How was your Tuesday? What do you got going on today? Good morning, Nathan. Oh, I want to hear it. I want to know. Want to know what's happening in your world. What did you do? Did you train? Did you not train? If you didn't train, why didn't you train? Are you training today? What's happening? Good morning also to Gad and Jenny. Who else is here? I've been playing with some things. I got a concept that I'm working on. We'll see. It's around kicking. It's a training protocol specifically to improve kicking. Not any one kick, but all kicks, any kicks. Because the things that make you better at kicking are fairly universal. So we'll see. That's probably going to be a 2023 thing. I don't think we're going to be able to roll that out this year. I'd like to, but I haven't. I've had edited footage for the Flex program that I haven't gotten to in months. So making a new program, that's not so easy. Good morning, Nikki. Jenny says she trained twice. Good move. I like it. Good times. I went to the gym yesterday, and when I walked in, the heavy bag was set up, and there was a guy kicking it. And I almost went over to him because he needed some. His kicks could have used some work. We'll be generous with that. But I didn't, because we live in this weird time where his initial reaction would have been to be defensive, and I didn't. Just was like, you know what? I'm here for me. I'm not here for him. And I left my earbuds at home, but it was a good workout, and I'm feeling good today, and just trying to get back on the horse. I was not as active this summer as I wanted to be. Well, let me take that back. Priorities forced reorganization of when I was working out. I went hiking on Sunday. Didn't have a problem hiking. My body's fine, but lost a little bit of muscle over the summer, and we're gonna put that back. Good morning, Stacy. And Mark says Nathan was hanging with Master Ken. I don't know how many of you saw that video yesterday, but it was funny. Well done, Master Ken and Nathan Porter. And there are a few moments in there where I'm not going to give it away. Nate, can you drop a link in the chat so everybody can see that? Because it was really fun. Jenny's asking about this idea. What I'm calling in my brain kick clinic will be designed for basic kicking, will also help with turning, spinning, jumping, etc. kicks. It would be for everything. Instead of working on specific kicks, it would be drills that would build strength, endurance, flexibility, balance, accuracy, etc. Because if you get better at all of those things, all of your kicks will get better. Might put some jumping stuff in there, some knee fortification in there. Because I'm constantly playing with new drills. I'm always looking at how do we most efficiently progress as martial artists. Because we've got all these ways to do things, but they're not always, in fact, I would suggest that most of the traditional ways I was exposed to are not the most efficient. And that doesn't seem like a big deal when you start out, but when you've been training a while and you've got a lot of things to work on, you have to be efficient. Otherwise, you can't progress as far as you might like to, or you have to hyper specialize. All right, so Nathan's got that link there. I'm going to put it up for those of you who might watch this later or otherwise not be able to see it. Good morning, Brian. I don't know what's happened. There are things going on in the chat that I'm not quite aware of. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but anyway. Yeah. So yesterday was like meetings all the way through, but I managed to get certain things done that I needed to get done. Like somebody put in an order on Friday. I felt really bad when I saw that come in. I was like, "You're placing an order on Friday? That's not going out for a while." And but I managed to get that boxed up and shipped out. And so today I have a number of things that I have to do, but the number one thing that I got to do, and I have a narrow window of time to do this, to unpack and check in the new shipment of whistlekick gear. My hope, knock on wood, is that I can get that unpacked and online for people to order today. That is complicated by the fact that the primary bank for whistlekick was part of a merger. People's United Bank merged into or was absorbed by M&T Bank, and they screwed a bunch of stuff up yesterday. I got an email. It was like, "Oh yeah, your automated payments. We screwed that up. Sorry, you're gonna have to re-enter all of them." And then I heard from somebody else yesterday evening that also used People's and now M&T that they weren't able to log in at all. So Wednesday being a day for books, we'll see how that goes. This might be a really weird day. Fingers crossed it's not. Good morning, Jared. Brian says audio's quiet today. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that. I'm feeling a bit quiet today, but nothing has changed in the setup that I'm aware of. Let me double check. Still grabbing audio from where it's supposed to. Yep, it is, and it's cranked up as much as it can be, so you're gonna have to work with it. Gad says, know exactly what you mean. People can get very defensive when you mean well. When I went to the gym regularly, I always saw the same guy hitting the bag in the same way, elbows up to his shoulders and just pounding away at the bag with the most aggressive look I've ever seen. He also hogged the bag for like an hour. No use engaging in meaningful debate. I figured and just postponed my bag work. That's a bummer. But yeah. Hello, Megan. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Wednesday is book day, Jared. I'm not quite sure. It is books day, as in the financial books. Good morning, Dennis. Yeah, I slept well last night. Things are okay. I watched the new episode of House of Dragons. It's a good show. I don't know if it's quite as good as Game of Thrones at this point, but I think it will be. It will become that. I believe. Yeah, so what else am I doing today? Got a meeting, gonna go help somebody with some computer stuff. So it's gonna be a packed day. There's too much in the day. But you do what you gotta do, right? One of the things I've had to slowly wrap my head around is that there will always be more things to do than time because I'm constantly coming up with ideas. And that's difficult. And that's forced me into developing a skill set that I'm not very good at, which is prioritization and recognition of what is worth the resources going into it. Made more complicated by my gross underestimation of how long things take. But I think I'm doing a little bit better in the delegation space. A lot of you work on things. Good morning, Andy. A lot of you help out with various things. And I even went so far as to reach out to someone who is sometimes on this, on with us. And I said, hey, here's a thing that would take like 10 minutes a week. Would you be willing to do this? Because I actually think this could make a substantial impact for us. And I got yeah, of course. not good at asking for help, but I'm getting better because I don't think we can grow much more without me asking for help. Coffee's good this morning. Anything else? Anything else to share? I don't think so. I don't think so. Just as always, a reminder, if there's something that you want to do, there's something you want to help with, let me know. Most of the time when people come on board, I have them start with something small because, uh, frankly, most people aren't able to be consistent with things, and I can't give up big stuff and then have it not work, right? Like the big stuff's got to get done. And so I give up the big stuff, the important stuff, I guess I should say, cautiously. That's the right word. All right. Now, this could turn into an interesting conversation. We'll see. Frank sent us over something as always. Thank you to Frank for all of his work on the show, and thank you to Josh for our theme music. So, in addition to being Labor Day, Monday was also Mouthguard Day. Who knew there was a Mouthguard Day? If you're a sports-minded individual, the odds are good that you at least know what a mouthguard is, or have even worn one yourself. While the primary purpose of mouthguards in the mind of the populace is to protect those involved in active sports from having their teeth smashed out of their mouth, there are other reasons that mouthguards are worn as well. On Mouthguard Day, we celebrate these wonderful inventions and the beautiful smiles they've served and protected throughout the years. The origin of the mouthguard may very well be lost to history, but what is known is that boxing is likely the home of this creation. It's worth noting that doesn't narrow things down very much, as pugilism has been a popular sport for hundreds or even thousands of years. Throughout the years, everything from resin and tape to wood and leather have been used to help protect these fighters' teeth. Can you imagine a wood mouthguard? Oh, the idea of it being thin enough to fit in your mouth and still being protective, I have a hard time with that. Wow. Okay. It was in 1892 that one Wolf Krauss, a dentist from Britain, invented a mouthguard made from gutta percha, a natural resin. The only issue with this mouthguard is that it had to be reapplied every fight and was not reusable. Krauss's son, Philip, took his father's invention a step further and created a reusable version that would become the standard in designs for decades. Mouthguards have been a standard piece of sports equipment ever since those days and remain one of the most critical parts of any sports person's kit. Probably the piece of equipment that martial artists dislike wearing most early on. And then you see a couple people lose a tooth or, spend half of their savings on fixing their teeth. And then you're a lot more likely to wear them. As the technology advanced, they found more and more uses for this technology, including their serving to help those with a tendency to grind their teeth from damaging their teeth in their sleep. Anybody out there ever have a night guard? I was just talking to somebody the other day who just got fitted for a night guard. I had a night guard for a year or two. And then my body decided to go the opposite direction and got, I would grind on it. I would grind it only when it was in. It's like my mouth was rejecting it. So never need it again. How to celebrate Mouthguard Day. It's not difficult, but it can serve as an excellent reminder to get yourself a new mouthguard if you haven't replaced yours in a while, because that's gross. Are you an active sports person who hasn't been using a mouthguard as a standard part of your hobby? Do you grind your teeth in your sleep and didn't know there was something you could do about it? Pick up the phone, call your dentist. All right, so let's do this. In celebration of Mouthguard Day, if you order anything today from Whistlekick and you put in the notes or email me after or whatever, today only, I will send you a mouthguard. even if you order something that doesn't come from here, if you order apparel or something that gets fulfilled from elsewhere, I will still send you a mouth guard. And I'll probably ask you what color you want and what color case you want, because I have so many mouth guards in the warehouse. Literally hundreds of mouth guards, maybe close to 1,000. So I will do that for you if you buy some. Okay. Good morning, Lou. And it says, I live with someone who has a night guard. I learned a lot about teeth over the last few years with my whole Invisalign journey. It's been really interesting. I think what was most interesting was that just in the first few months, my teeth moved so much. It was utterly incredible. And what was also interesting was that the first orthodontist that I was referred to before this tooth, the crown went bad and cavity and everything, because my teeth on the lower jaw were so crowded, he said, we'll have to pull one. And I was like, no, you're not doing that. But then the second orthodontist said, that's ridiculous. We don't need to pull any of your teeth. We're just going to file down with a little sandpaper a tiny little bit on each side of a bunch of your teeth and create some space. I was like, that makes so much more sense. So that is all to say that just because someone is in a profession and they have been in this profession for a long time does not mean that their opinion is the only one that is valid, and it doesn't hurt to keep looking for answers on things. Oh, you guys are ridiculous. I love it. I love it. So a couple things about mouth guards. If you have one and you've got it just right and you're like, oh, it smells, just throw it in with some mouthwash. Take a glass, put some mouthwash in it, let it sit overnight. Not only will it kill whatever's there and it'll stop smelling, it'll taste good the next time you wear it. Avoid any of the flavored mouth guards, in my opinion. Because those things are not going to go through the FDA. Not that the FDA is, the biggest, not that I'm the biggest supporter, and I believe that they are infallible. However, yeah, just the flavorings sketch me out. What else about mouth guards? We should all wear them. We don't, but we should. If you are an instructor, how about this? If you're an instructor and you have people working partner drills, I have experienced in many settings people being given time to put on safety equipment and being rushed. Come on, hurry up. It's mixed messaging. The safety equipment is important. You don't want people to feel rushed. If people are rushed, they don't think clearly. They don't have time to put their mouth guard in. They don't put on their shin guards. They don't put on other things, right? Don't rush your students while they're putting on their gear. Give them a fixed amount of time. One of the best things most martial arts schools could do would be to put a countdown timer up on the clock, on the wall. All right, you've got 3 minutes to put on your gear. And now they can be responsible for themselves. Just a thought. Jenny says, I clean my mouth guard more often than my uniform. I regularly soak it in mouthwash. Hey, good call. You can also use, oh, the deer are back. They've been here almost every morning. You can also use denture cleaner. That's what I use for my Invisalign as one of those tablets because they're super cheap and they do a really good job. So that's an option too, especially if you have like a higher end mouth guard and you, I don't know, really want to take care of it. That's an option. Lou says, the problem I find with the donning of safety gear is the students use this time as a social gathering more than time to don their gear. I completely understand. And that's, oh, there's 3 today. I think that's mom and, no, these are not the same deer. It's mom and 2 babies. I might be able to show you guys. Don't mind the rest of my house. Can you see that out the left window? There's one of the ones. If people understand what's expected of them and you give them a timeline, then it can work out. Dennis says, I always set a timer when I had my younger students put their smart gear on. Totally agree. Jenny says, my instructor gives us 30 seconds to put on our gear. Never has every student made it in that 30 seconds, but they get there, right? Like they're motivated to do it. Kelly says, I extend sparring classes by either a half hour or, if possible, an hour, partly for gear dressing time. So I'm still, okay, so there's mom. Mom coming through. She'll be gone in a moment. All right. And we're back to me. Nope. One more rotation. See? It's part nature show. Whatever shows up here, I'll show you. So that means, because there's those 3 and there's a duo that are definitely darker. They're older. 5. There's at least 5 in the area. It's been a few years since I had much in the way of deer around here, so I'm excited. It makes me happy to see that. Okay. Good talk. Let's summarize everything around putting on gear and time and clocks and everything to prioritize the things that are important and make sure that the messaging, the actions, the pressure that occurs in a class is not in conflict with what the priorities are. If you believe putting on gear is important, make sure people have adequate time to put on gear and they understand the importance. That doesn't mean that you give them infinite amount of time. You figure out how much time is appropriate, and if someone can't get their gear on in that time, they join when they can. If you punish people for not putting their gear on in time, they're going to put their gear on wrong. Remember, don't punish people for things that that's a whole other conversation, punishment. So we'll skip that one right there. Then it says, First Cup should be airing on the Discovery Network. Stacy says, love the deer, so sweet when you show them. Jenny says, life is like a first cup. You never know what you're going to get. Ha ha. Stacy says, that came with a rich drawl. And Gad says, at first glance, I thought there was someone hanging in a gibbet outside your window, a pirate with wooden teeth and legs. That's my patio umbrella, which got used, I don't know, 4 times. I needed to have it and then never used it because it was hot. Anyway, So I'm going to get going. I appreciate you all for coming by, for joining. Remember, if you want to support, patreon.com/whistlekick. Use the code firstcup15 at whistlekick.com. Don't forget free training day shirts, and then for the first year, the Northeast VIP bundle. We are doing stuff with that is so much fun, and I will promise you that the people who get that bundle are going to look at it and go, I got this. I got all of this. Yeah, we are crushing it. Super pumped. And of course, we've got the family page, whistlekick.com/family, which is probably not getting updated today. Remember, we are the only martial arts morning show, weekdays, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And I'll post Lou's here. Hope everyone has a great day later. All exactly. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care and be well. Peace.